And my son, with his big blue eyes, looked up and said, "I know why the building fell down, Mom." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because someone took all the nails out of it." And I thought, wouldn't that be beautiful if that was such a simple answer?
We were all supposed to leave the next day on vacation to Disneyland. He left his little son, 2.5 years old, and the first thing when I went to see him, my little grandson looked at me and said, "My daddy died, and I can't go to Disneyland."
You know how Daddy was flying to LA today? Some really bad men took over his plane and crashed it into a building in New York, and now Daddy's not coming home.
Mama, why would the tourists do that to Papa?
One of the photographers asked if they could take a picture of the house. And Megan said, "Mom, don't let them." And I said, "Why not, Megan?" And she said, "Because I don't want the terrorists to come find us."
That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. I'm really not afraid of anything now. But delivering hurt to your children is nothing any mother wants to be responsible for.
And I remember her just sitting with me and just kept saying, "Mommy, I love you so much. I love you so much."
Pain, you know, pain like you just don't even realize that it's going to exist.
They were scrolling down the screen on the TV, and I saw that Jeff's name wasn't on there, and it was about 11 o'clock at night. And I said to my brother-in-law, "We need to call the station." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because Jeff's name needs to be on there."
I remember the policemen coming to our house to tell us that they had found his body, that he had actually died, and I was concerned about the policemen. I said to the policeman, I said, "Oh, this must be very difficult. Are you okay?"
I would keep calling the cell phone number, not even thinking that the phone would ring regardless whether she was living or dead, but I constantly called her cell phone for weeks and weeks and heard her voice.
The goodness in the world was so evident post 9/11. Sometimes I wish people could just tap into that beauty of people holding doors or letting you on the highway without beeping and trying to cut you off.
The stench that was there was just one that will stay with me till the day I die. And we stood there and we looked for a little while, and I don't think we really even said anything to each other, and I just looked at my son to make sure that he was okay.
After a terribly emotional 1.5 years of crying and just trying to get enough sleep and trying to get a proper diet and get my life back on track so I was surviving, then I decided, what about me?
You can either put one foot in front of the other, or you can kill yourself. You can do it literally or figuratively by just never getting out of bed again.
We only have one world, and if we blow it up, where are we going to be? You know, and my God, what are we doing? We're maiming and killing, and what?
We can't be afraid of every Muslim person we see, because the Muslims didn't do this to us. The radicals did this to us. Some crazy people who believe that this is what their religion wanted them to do did this to us.
I didn't want to spend my time fighting the government or fighting against the extremists because I could never get back their childhood. They had lost enough, and I didn't want them to lose me.
I needed to let go of any kind of anger that I had in order to live the life that I needed to live in order to raise my son.
And we have to learn to get along with each other. I personally was very upset when I saw cheering after bin Laden was killed. I can understand why some people cheered, but it was not right.
The victims are not only the people who died that day. The victims are the families or the people suffering, and even the mothers of these men who might not have wanted their son to be this way.
I don't think that the mothers of the perpetrators are the perpetrators.
Wow, you know, how horrible for them that no one's going to comfort them. And, you know, they're mothers too, and they've lost their children.
Death is death, and we just have to draw strength from each other.
I love to meet with, you know, those mothers of terrorists, and then want to share. And then as human beings, as mothers, we can be bonded, and then we can find the same goal, we can work together.
I really believe that if women around the world join forces, we could achieve peace, because it has to stop. The violence has to stop, the madness and killing have to stop.
The women today, in sharing their stories, can help others heal. Through the trauma that many people have experienced, there's great growth and great change can happen.
I do experience joy, and I think that's when you know you're healing, when you can laugh again, experience happiness. You know there is goodness in this world.